This is the video review of Shoutmon from Digimon Xros Wars and his buddies Starmon and Pickmon. Now on the back you can see Shoutmon from Digimon Fusion, the American version. I already reviewed that guy and I reviewed him with a Ballistamon and Darulumon as well, the American versions. Now the reason I did that is because none of the American versions by themselves really do much. And especially not Shoutmon over here, he doesn't do much at all. But this version of Shoutmon here actually does a fair number of tiny things. And so I will be reviewing the Japanese versions, the Digicross versions, independently, although as I build up to them, like when I do Ballistamon, I'll be showing how it combines with Shoutmon for Shoutmon Cross 2. So I will be including the previous ones in the future, but for just Shoutmon, I'll just be covering what Shoutmon does by himself and how it compares to the American version. Alright, so Shoutmon himself right here is a tiny little dude. He's pretty cool. I guess I don't quite like his proportions. He looks like a baby, whereas the American version back here looks like he is actually a teenage dragon, kinda. And that's how he looks in the show. This is a very show-accurate version of Shoutmon in spite of all the little gaps inside here. So just on the individual toys themselves, this one is bigger, looks more show-accurate, and has a lot more posability, because this one has arms that can move around, and legs that can move around, and a head that can move around. Whereas the Japanese version, the arms just go forward and back. His wrists turn. It's nice that they can do that, but I wish his arms could also go in and out, because as it stands, if you try and do that, you'll pop them off the ball joint. And then his feet will move around like this, and all that is really useful for his game to look up and down like this, so that he's leaning back or forward. Now he can open his mouth, which is something nice that this one can do that the American version cannot do. So it's nice that he can do that, and it does help with a part of the transformation into Shoutmon Cross 2 and 3 and 4, and Cross 4B and Cross 4, 5. You get the point. Opening the mouth does help a little bit, but for the most part, just on the Shoutmon alone, not what Shoutmon does with any of his buddies, I prefer the American version just because it's bigger and can actually do more by itself. However, Shoutmon here also comes with his Pickmon buddies and even his microphone over here. So the microphone is actually very show accurate. Now you can see the Shoutmon Cross 3, 4, and 5 head in there. But it does look like this in the show where it has these spikes that go up and down and without the eyes present. So it's interesting how they designed the show to work with the toys, kinda. Now with this, it's kind of hard to do this, to get him to hold the microphone with both hands. And it's kind of fortunate that the hands and stuff are made out of soft rubber or plasticized plastic. Basically, it's a soft plastic, so there's a little bit of flex in the plastic to help it work, like to actually snap it in, and then to make it so that the arms can rotate a little bit like this. If the arms did not have any flexibility in them, you could not do that. And then you can, the head does not turn, but you can kind of simulate his rock and roller attack or whatever it is. Not very well. Basically, the problem with this Shoutmon is that for all of his accessories that he has, they're all oversized because the accessories also need to work with the other forms too. So that's about all you can do with the microphone in this mode. And now we'll look at the Star Sword, which is Starmon right here, which is for the most part very nice, although I don't appreciate the hole in the middle, or how from the back he looks like nothing. But then you also get the Pickmon, and the Pickmon are actually kind of cool. There are 3 different types of Pickmon. There's this one here, which has the communist shades here. There's this one here, which has the kind of cat face. And this one here, which looks kind of weird. Anyway, you will peg them together like this. And this will make the actual blade of the Star Sword. And then you can tab them onto the top of Starmon, and here you have the Star Sword. And good luck trying to get Shoutmon to hold this in any way that looks decent, because if you try, you're going to get something like this. And yeah, so Shoutmon by himself, the Japanese version, not very good. He can do some neat things that the American version can't, but overall I think the American version is better by itself. If you're just looking to get a decent Shoutmon figure, go for the American version. If you're looking to have a decent combining figure with all the other figures of the series, although Starmon is missing here, then definitely go for the Japanese version. So anyway, this has been the video review of Shoutmon from Digimon Xros Wars. I vaguely recommend it. It just depends on what you're wanting for it. If you're wanting to do the combinations, definitely get it over the American versions, because the Japanese ones do some really cool stuff. Although I will be talking about the differences between the American version of Shoutmon times 4 and the Japanese version when we get there, because there are some trade-offs between the two. Anyway, this has been a video review of Shoutmon. I review Digimon, Transformers, Macross figures, Power Rangers figures, lots of stuff like that. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check our Facebook link down below.